Poseidon is one of the three chief gods in the Greek pantheon, and the ruler of all of the seas. Armed with his trident, it's said that only Zeus is more powerful than he. Much like his brother Hades and Zeus, Poseidon was the son of Kronos and Rhea, and in the beginning was swallowed by his father. It was Zeus that saved them, thus becoming the king of the gods. The world was divided amongst Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon after the defeat of their parents, the Titans. Zeus became the lord of the skies, Hades became the lord of the underworld, while Poseidon was given mastery over all of the oceans, rivers, and lakes, giving him a kingdom almost as large as Zeus. In fact, it was said that he had a castle made of coral on the bottom of the ocean, and that it was encrusted with gems. But he still spent his time in Mount Olympus, home of the gods. Most see Poseidon as the god of the sea, but in reality he was actually given dominion over sea, storms, earthquakes, and horses. While some of these play into his mythology, he was primarily known as a sea god, causing sailors to pray to him for protection and safe passage. In fact, when the Romans changed Poseidon into Neptune for their own pantheon, they discarded all of the other aspects of the figure, focusing only on him being the god of the sea. Even among the other gods who were not known for their good nature and family values, he was considered one of the most moody and vengeful. Many of the heroic myths of Greece involved Poseidon being offended by some hero or another. This was shown best during the Odyssey, when Odysseus blinds his son and the sea god punished him for 10 years by not allowing him to return home. King Minos would also feel the wrath of Poseidon. When the king prayed to the god, he asked for a mighty bull to be sent from the sea so that he may sacrifice it. The bull was sent, but it was so magnificent that Minos decided against the sacrifice. Angered by this, Poseidon convinced Aphrodite to cast a spell on King Minos' wife, making her fall in love with the bull. The child that was created from this union was the Minotaur, which would be locked within the labyrinth. But it wasn't just mankind that Poseidon didn't get along with. Constant feuds with other gods would also mark his history. Even though he had his own vast kingdom, Poseidon constantly argued with his brother Zeus, who had been named king of the gods. Teaming up with Hera and Athena, the three gods tried to overthrow Zeus, but he defeated them. As punishment, Poseidon was ordered to serve the Trojan King. It was said that Apollo and Poseidon built the great walls that surrounded Troy. Another story tells of Poseidon believing that the people of Athens should worship him and not Athena. To show that his powers would benefit them more, Poseidon struck down with his trident, causing a saltwater stream to flow forth from a citadel in the city. Athena demonstrated her own power and wisdom by planting an olive tree within the city, and the king declared that the olive tree and its fruit, oil, and wood was much more useful than the saltwater stream. So Athena remained the patron deity of that city. As the god of sea and storms, we have seen many myths of his power. As the god of earthquakes, he was known to crash his trident into the earth, shifting it under his feet. What many people do not know is that Poseidon is also the god of horses, and many different horses play into his myths. For one, Poseidon is said to have created the horse himself. There was a time when he had grown attracted to the beautiful Demeter, goddess of the harvest. She, however, did not share in his affections. To distract him and hope that he would move on to someone else, she asked the god to create the most beautiful creature that he could. Eventually, he created the horse, but by this time his affection had lessened for her. Another myth involving the god of the harvest showed that Poseidon once again desired her. Changing her shape, she disguised herself as a mare and hid among a herd of horses. Yet Poseidon could still find her, changing into a stallion, forcing himself upon her. One of their children born from this act was Aeron, the talking horse. Her sadness and rage at this was said to have caused the great famine across the earth. Aeron wasn't Poseidon's only strange horse child, though, as he would also become the father of some of the most famous horses in Greek mythology. Pegasus, the winged steed, was fathered by Poseidon and Medusa. Pegasus also gained some of his father's power and was able to call forth water from the earth wherever he struck his hoof. Just some fun information and facts on the Greek god Poseidon. Who else would you like us to cover here at Tales of Earth? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on some of the weird things that happened in our history here on Earth.